A ransom note demanded JonBenét Ramsey be returned alive. But by the time police arrived, she was already dead, inside her own home. For more than 25 years, no one has been able to explain how both of these facts can be true. On the morning after Christmas in 1996, what began as a frantic kidnapping report in a quiet Colorado town turned into one of the most debated criminal investigations in American history. Every detail from a handwritten note to the handling of the crime scene has been questioned, analyzed, and argued over for decades. And despite countless theories, one truth remains. No one has ever been held responsible. JonBenét Patricia Ramsey was 6 years old. She lived with her parents, John and Patsy Ramsey, and her older brother, Burke, in an affluent neighborhood in Boulder, Colorado. Known locally for her involvement in child beauty pageants, JonBenét was finishing kindergarten and had just celebrated Christmas with her family. In the early hours of December 26, 1996, Patsy Ramsey discovered a handwritten ransom note on a staircase inside the family home. The note claimed JonBenét had been kidnapped and demanded $118,000 for her safe return. That number immediately stood out. It matched John Ramsey's recent Christmas bonus. The note warned the family not to contact the police. Patsy called 911 anyway. When officers arrived just after 6 a.m., the situation was treated as a missing child case. Police conducted a brief search of the house and surrounding areas, while friends and family were invited inside for support. Hours passed. No kidnappers called. Then shortly after 1 p.m., John Ramsey went to the basement and opened a door to a small storage room. Inside, he found JonBenét's body wrapped in a blanket. In an instant, the case changed from a kidnapping to a homicide. But the damage to the investigation had already begun. The coroner determined JonBenét died from asphyxiation due to strangulation, combined with severe head trauma. A cord fashioned with a broken paintbrush handle had been tied around her neck. Her skull showed a significant fracture. These injuries made one thing clear. This was not an accidental death. Yet investigators found no clear signs of forced entry into the home. Doors and windows appeared locked. There were no obvious signs of a struggle that would explain how someone entered, committed the crime, and left undetected. And then there was the ransom note. The note was unusually long, more than 2 pages, and written calmly, almost theatrically. It included specific instructions, referenced the family's finances, and was written on paper taken from inside the home. Experts later noted 3 key anomalies. Its length and tone were unlike typical ransom demands. It appeared to be written with time and composure. Handwriting analysis failed to conclusively identify a single author. John Ramsey had been ruled out as the writer. Patsy Ramsey could not be definitively excluded, but also could not be confirmed. Instead of clarifying the crime, the note became one of its deepest mysteries. Because police initially believed JonBenét was kidnapped, the home was not immediately sealed. Friends moved through rooms, items were handled. When John Ramsey carried his daughter's body upstairs, the scene was further altered. These decisions weren't malicious, but they were irreversible. Later, forensic teams acknowledged that crucial evidence may have been contaminated or lost, making it nearly impossible to reconstruct what truly happened during the night. And that uncertainty would follow the case forever. In the months that followed, Boulder police pursued multiple theories. A grand jury was convened in 1998, reviewing evidence for over a year. In a revelation not made public until much later, the grand jury voted to issue a true bill, suggesting there was probable cause, that JonBenét had been placed in danger, and that events afterward hindered the investigation. But prosecutors declined to file charges, stating there was insufficient evidence to secure a conviction. The case remained officially unsolved. In later years, unidentified male DNA found on JonBenét's clothing led authorities to formally clear her parents in 2008. Still, debate persisted over whether that DNA was evidence of an intruder or the result of innocent transfer. In 2006, a man named John Mark Carr falsely confessed, briefly reviving hopes of closure, until DNA testing excluded him entirely. Each development brought attention, none brought answers. Today, advances in forensic science offer renewed hope. Boulder police maintain the case is active, and investigators continue reviewing evidence and modern technology. But the JonBenét Ramsey case endures not just because it is unsolved. It endures because early uncertainty became permanent, because evidence was compromised, because questions outnumbered answers, and because a child's death became a national mystery without resolution. More than 2 decades later, JonBenét Ramsey remains at the center of one of America's most hauntingly unsolved cases. Was the ransom note real or a distraction? Was the truth lost in the first critical hours? And will advances in science ever uncover what time has buried? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. And if you want more carefully researched true crime stories, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.